Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I've been better. I just made a half-hour video and I couldn't save it. I didn't save it. I don't know what I did different from yesterday. It's a Samsung Galaxy. So I'm back to my crappy little phone until I'm going to watch a video on it and see what I did. What I can do with these ones is just back out of it. I have two of them and just back out and it saves my video. So, like I say, I don't know what I did yesterday. I think I actually clicked on the video recorder again to stop it. I'm not quite sure. So, maybe some of you will know. Otherwise, I'm going to watch a video when I feel like it. I don't know that it's going to be right away. That was pretty frustrating. But yeah, I had watched a Frank Shot Pearson video this morning, and he is pretty upset with the stuff in the schools, and a lot of other parents are. The reading material and things that are available to their children that they don't want around their children, you know. And so I will share the link for that. If I get cut off, I love you. I'm sorry. Um, please bear with me till I get these things straightened around. It's and I do have kind of a headache. But see, that brings me to the topic of my video today. I've told you before that I made videos concerning the German company Lufthansa, meaning Red Sky Airlines, have contracts with airlines from the United States that are dumping toxic waste on us. And if anybody is affiliated with that and you're watching this, how can you live with yourself? I have a cousin that is a HAZDAC professional. He drives heavy equipment for them, burying that type of stuff. And that's out west. And I know there's a few places around the United States that they take waste products. But where is all of it going from all over the world? For instance, when they mine iron ore, the taconite is poisonous. It's little taconite pellets that they used to ship to China, and China would refine it, smelt it down, and make another metal alloy out of it. But I don't think that's happening anymore right now. That's just one instance, but there's literal proof out here that the Germans who hate us, that is the dark cabal for the most part, the crypto Jews that came over here in the 40s and started with their project Paperclip Meritage, the Monarch programming, all of it's from them in correlation with our own government. Project Northwoods, Project High Jump, all of these contrived to hurt people type of situations. How do we stop them? How do we stop two superpower companies that are working against us in our own country? What do we do to stop them from spraying stuff on us from out of the skies? Because how I feel today, um, I've gotten sick from the swine flu before, and I've had the flu like when I was younger. But typically, I don't really get sick like that. But to feel hot and dizzy, and I'm not the only one. A lot of people are saying this, and it's not just because of the flu season, you know? So I'm convinced it is. I mean, every person in the world, you have the right, I have the right to say, I don't want anybody dumping anything out of the sky on me. I don't care if it's even water. Another human being does not have control over every other human being, regardless if they think they do or not. So, how do we stop these monsters from hurting people? How do we get these creatures out of the away from the children? How do we stop what we know is unacceptable towards our children? What do we do about that? How do we go about that? Personally, if I met these people, I could do something about it. But right here, the only thing I can do is tell you, and hopefully if you or somebody you know is working in this type of area or could physically do something about it or even expose it or whatever or help to expose it. Fact of the matter is, Germany and America have contracts all around the world dumping poison on the people of the world. That's enough right there, isn't it? What do we do? They're flipping monsters. They don't care. They dig up the earth, they take the riches, they sell it all over the world to each other. And the poor guy running like the earth movers or the dump trucks or even I'm not going to say a jeweler would be poor, but you know, artisans that craft jewelry with these metals or everybody's working for these monsters that are ripping our world apart. So, yeah. Anyway, it's pretty disgusting. But yeah, I got all my just about all my housework done this morning and my exercises and excuse me. I've been down to every other day has been about cool for doing my exercises. Every day seemed kind of excessive and was actually kind of hurting me. So sometimes I do them every other day, or I mean every day, but I never go 3 days without doing them. I think that would be too much, and then I'd just be back in my slump again when I didn't feel good, and I'd probably start feeling bad again from not taking care of myself. So, yeah, I made a beautiful meal last night. I took a giant Hubbard squash and cooked it for about an hour and a half, scooped all the meat out of it, and separated the seeds, and put it back in a baking dish. And that was from the Amish. Oh, it was so good. I had it with roasted chicken breasts. That was such a good supper. Yum. I don't know what's for supper tonight. Not sure yet, but I needed to use that squash up, so it made a really nice Sunday meal. The other day, it was just a simple conversation after Doug was out using. I mean, all around me, all I have is little girls, families with little girls in it from all ages. And some of them were partying when Doug was trying to build on his woodshed. And it was dark out, he had the lights on. and he started getting really vulgar with them. And I've swore around my kids, but not vulgar. And quite frankly, what they grew up around wasn't nothing near my saying "damn it" or whatever, you know. But and I spoke with him about it after it happened, and he said, "Well, I need a new heart." And I said, "Yeah, I know that." I said, "I'm carrying my father's heart for you, like an example." So, just the recognition, you know, when somebody does something that you probably shouldn't do, um, and not making excuses for it. Anyway, and what are you actually, if okay, if I'm doing something that's probably gonna not be um a good thing to teach somebody else, unless I were teaching them how to stop something, it wouldn't be a very good idea for me to just be accepting of that situation and say, well, it's a natural part of human life, and blah blah blah. It's like me being able to lower my gaze if somebody's trying to come on to me or something, which is really, really disturbing to me in public. I don't know if you've ever been like a little kid and had an adult inappropriate looking at you, or other adults. I mean, I tried to teach my sons to lower their gaze, because you're literally going into a spiritual field of that other human being that you don't have a business in. That's like that woman or that man, that's theirs. Even if they're dressing inappropriately, it's up to you as a strong individual, and we all fail. I mean, we our flesh fails us. But if you're aware of that and you're in control of your flesh, you won't be passing on any ill vibes to another human being by way of any excuses, even living in the flesh, if you see my point. So I think that's enough on that subject, but I just want to make that really clear, that although things are acceptable in society, it doesn't mean that that's acceptable in everybody's life. You know, the word Christian is thrown around an awful lot nowadays. Too much. You know, it's easy. It's easy to say I'm a Christian. It's harder to, for some for some people. Excuse me. It's harder for them to live that life. You know, so by example, for an example for other people. So if you're just around adults, I imagine it's not really a great big deal what you do, you know. But if you have little children that are looking up to you, or someday might see your videos, and you have to ask yourself, am I helping these kids and these young people? Or am I putting them in a sorrowful situation that's going to probably make life a little more difficult for them? So I'm going to see if I can get to my point here. I don't really care about offending anybody, because if somebody takes offense to my words and won't realize that controlling our flesh, yeah, that's something to be proud about. If you don't eat that giant cake all by yourself, or if you don't go, like, just say into a nudie bar, or pat yourself on the back, buddy. Yeah, you bet. Have some pride in yourself, you know? Anytime you can deny Satan his watch and everything you're doing, you win. He loses. The pleasures in life, yeah, we have pleasures in life. When you have God in your heart, that's not a big deal. But to make it evident to other people that that's where you're coming from is probably the biggest thing right there. So, well, I'm gonna upload this. I'm gonna put Frank Schatz's link. If you have children, you might be interested in what other parents and how they're feeling about different things that are being pushed on our children out in this world by the freakazoids. And if you know how to, maybe somebody can word it to my, maybe it's because of my headache. I don't know why, but I made that video and just backed out of it. And I think I probably should have pushed the little video recording button again to stop it. It's probably just that simple what I did yesterday and didn't do today, the difference. But and I had the lighting all perfect. It was a great video, at least in my head, you know. So I see somebody said hello to me. I will get to my notifications very soon here. Been a little busy this morning, so I'll talk to you all soon, maybe later. I love you all. Have a wonderful week. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Thank you for joining me.